Protobothrop on the road. They're very difficult to pick up.
Look at this incredible karst landscape we're surrounded with.
And I jumped out and grabbed out of the grass with almost no light.
Hello, it's a new day here in China, in Guangxi province. And after the insane success of the last few nights, which by the way, you have to check out those videos if you haven't already. We're gonna start heading back south slowly towards Nanning, where I'm flying out of. Actually, we've had the most amazing weather this whole trip, but finally it's kicked the bucket and it's just pouring with rain. This is rainy as hell here. You can tell I was just taking some video of some stuff we caught before and releasing it. But we're gonna jet off and check out a new area where none of us have ever hurt before. So it's gonna be interesting. Maybe it will dry up later. Maybe we'll have a good night. Maybe even if it's drizzling, we can turn something up. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, Houston, there has been a truncation. It is pouring with rain. All right, we touched down at our destination for today's herp, and well, if you saw the water levels in those clips, you'll know that it has been raining here a lot more than it was at the other place. You know, it's probably been raining here heavily for the last few days, and it's still raining now, but we're here. We're gonna check it out regardless. Right now, we're just walking up this road where we couldn't take the car, and we're basically gonna head up here until it gets dark, then we're gonna start shining around. So maybe we'll catch some weird snake that's active in this terrible weather and crepuscular conditions. Otherwise, I reckon there'll be something around at night, so stay tuned. Here, first find of the night is this amazing odorana. Like, I'm familiar with this one. This is the one that people say like looks like the Mangshan pit viper, and it is absolutely beautiful. We've seen some decent frogs on this trip, but this will actually be the first one I'm going to get my camera out for, purely because it's the most convenient. The other ones were all at bad times, but this one's so unique, so freaking cool. Definitely going to get my camera out for this. Look at that. Amazing. Down in this little, like, I don't know what the hell this is, some kind of abandoned swimming pool. Got these bufo gargazans, which I've never seen before, and it's definitely a first for the channel. You can hear a couple of them calling in the background, although they just stopped now. You can just hear a few other frogs, but they're a pretty nice variation of a Asian toad here. I like their color composition, very, very spiny, but somewhat smooth on the head. Nice. Next find is some kind of Tachydromus, which is like these long-tailed grass lizards. There's a few of these dotted around Asia, and absolutely nobody knows what species it could be here. Could be an undescribed one. But anyway, I'm shining too bright light of it and it's closed its eyes and gone to sleep, so I'm gonna put it back in here. There we go. Looking right at home there. All right, our first snake has showed up as we went just low enough for there not to be frog. Fog? I mean, not frog. Yeah, TS major, that's it. Here we go, we have China's nominate green bean colubrid here. We haven't seen one of these since the very first night of the trip. A completely different video to this one, so not a bad addition at all. I'm actually quite a fan of these. You know, it is a somewhat of a rat snake. I guess it's more in the racer snake group because it's a Tias. Very strange addition to the Tias genus, these guys. But according to people I trust, it is definitely fits in the Tias genus. Even though instead of being a fast-moving terrestrial snake that predates frogs, lizards, rats, etc., other snakes, this predates earthworms. Yeah, that's literally it. It cruises around the forest, eating earthworms, and then sleeps in trees at night. So there you have it, guys. Clap it up for an actually pretty big TS major, which has woken up our night, which prior to this was snakeless, but is not snakeless anymore. And this surely will not be the last snake of the night. I'm speaking it into existence. So enjoy this green bean colubrid, and let's keep moving. Well, the second we went a bit lower in elevation, it's just turned into this. So it may be a truncated night, and we may just wrap up early and go somewhere else tomorrow. But we still got a little bit of walk back, so I'll see if anything shows up. On the way back in the pouring rain, I actually spotted this TS major active, and this is, according to the other guys, one of the largest TS major they've ever seen. So it actually is, it actually is a greater green snake, this one. I know we said that about the last one a few minutes ago, but this one actually is large. And as always, this species is such a nightmare to hold in the hand. It's so wriggly and squirmy. But here's a look at its goofy small head. We're actually getting like swarmed by these like annoying little bugs here because of the rain. So I'm not going to film for much longer, but enjoy this very, very nice green snake that I would take my camera out for in other conditions because it's a very nice photographable size. But this time we're just going to get a couple quick in-hands and let it go back. And this might actually be the last snake of the night. One thing about China is they have security cameras literally like absolutely everywhere. I wanted to show you this one because it talks. Obviously, nobody understood a word of what it said, but it flashes at you and it talks while it's recording. Just at the stupid entrance to this little protected area. So strange.
This is the face of very truncated man.
Right, on the way out, we actually cruised the snake, and it's a Lycodon, and the good variety as well. It's a Meridionalis, the Vietnamese wolf snake. Super colorful. I'm going to try and show you it without there being too much light glaring from the car because we left the lights on full beam. Yeah, definitely the same one that we saw over in Maolan, but this one is a little bit smaller, and by a little bit smaller I mean a lot smaller. And it's definitely on the biting meter, I can tell already. But yeah, another nice snake actually out in the rain, in the crappy weather, which is better than nothing. You know, getting some species, more than one species, a few different snakes is pretty much all we could have hoped for tonight. And we're going to do a bit more cruising around. Like, we're not just going to totally give up just yet, but we'll see how that goes. And currently it's going fairly well, so I'm going to let this one go. Normal food, and there's snails. It's a Chinese national holiday right now, so like it's just crazy busy around this area. We're in well, south of Guilin. I don't know the exact area we're in, but it's incredibly beautiful, and it's reflected in how like touristy this area is. There's lotus gardens, there's like temples in the karst, there's caves, maybe even Mollendorfer in those caves, but that's no longer a target. We're heading south to some like mid to lower elevation forest where we're going to try and run our luck up one final time to see if we can get some more good snakes before the China trip ends. So I'll catch up with you very soon. All right, here we are. We've arrived at our location, and you can see just this absolutely unreal, like stunning habitat. We were actually on the other side of that formation earlier. I think I filmed it. But amazingly, when we arrived here, despite the heavy rain, we actually saw a DOR of our main target. So it's kind of like a Mollendorfer situation. Obviously, I don't film these DORs because they're too gory to put in the video, but like, we actually have absolute confirmation that this super turbo rare species is in fact in this area that we saw, like we had hearsay records of. So that's a good sign. We're just gonna kind of hang out, do nothing, scout habitat until the weather improves. Then we'll try and actually do some herping. Because of the rain, there's a lot of landslide activity on these montane roads. It's a little bit sketchy for sure, especially in these steep rocky areas. Should be fine though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. All right, it pretty much rained all afternoon and killed off our hopes of herping then, and has made it pretty difficult at night, but it is dry now at night. So we split up into two different groups. Me and Tinkun, he's just around the corner from me here, and I'm walking behind. We're scanning the upper part of the road. The other guys are a little further down scanning the lower part, and I'm gonna be on the grind. Just shining around, hoping something shows up. So let's get to it. Here's another nice Curixalis here. Always good to see these cool little tree frogs around calling near these little damp pools. All right, first snake is what looks like probably a huge TS major to me. Quite high elevation for this species, like we're up at almost 900 meters here. But I'm guessing, looking at like the kind of all green color of it, that it's probably that one, but I'll take a closer look anyway. My next snake just showed up. It's all the way up here, and I'm pretty sure it's some kind of slug snake, judging by its body shape and the way it's moving. But how am I supposed to get this down? Again, it's so far up, man, and there's no way up there. This is just edging at this point. Oh God. All right, after my solo herping truncations, I met up with Tinkun and we went to get the others, and we actually road cruised the snake here, and it's an adult Boiga crapulinae, which I'm actually very happy to see since I didn't get to photograph the first one. And so far, every snake tonight I was unable to catch. Also, I have to report a major truncation in that I took a closer look at that snake that was high up that bank, and it was indeed our main target, and it vanished because I couldn't get a stick big enough. But this is a nice looking Boiga actually. Really distinctive markings on this one. Really strong. Let's see what happens when I pick it up. Ooh. It's going to be on the biting meta. Yeah, nice little defensive posture there. All the Boigas here are such good like Protobothrops mimics. They all like mimic Mukro. It's freaking cool. Like every single one is like a great Protobothrops mimic. And this is actually one of the better ones. Look at it like flattening its head to look as Protobothrops like as it possibly can. That's nice. Oh, I was sure it was going to strike at me then. No, it's just hitting itself with its tail. What's it? Is its eye like strangely blue? I'm not sure. Bro, you're striking at a moth. You are striking at a moth. Goofy ass snake. Decent sized one here. You can see our goofy orange car in the background and a goofy ass snake in the foreground. So a decent find tonight to like cheer me up a little bit. But the night is certainly not over herping wise. We're going to link up with the guys now, see if they found anything good.
My trip.
Yeah, I knew that was incoming. Absolute classic Boiga. And then once we pick them up, we're going to keep herping. Got another snake walking along here. This one is, I think, adult Lycodon rostrati. So there's a kind of new version, similar to the Boiga. We got a new version of a snake we've seen before. And nothing's new about its activity though. It's biting. You can kind of recognize this one by its pattern. It's more of like the fasciatus type looking wolf snake occurring in this area, with the kind of serrated jigsaw bands on the interior becoming kind of very thinly banded towards the neck. Very distinguishable from a krait. Nobody with experience IDing snakes is going to be mistaking this one for a krait. That said, it does have relatively sharp teeth though, so I don't think I'm going to stay too long with this one, but seeing this one active is a good sign. These are very cold tolerant, these ones, so it's actually not that much of a good sign. But it's not actually too cold up on the hill today, and it's not too rainy either. There's an occasional bit of drizzle in the air, but it's still feeling like we could turn up more snakes tonight, so let's keep grinding. Got a nice Acanthosaura here along the road sleeping. Reminds me of a Lepidogasta with the kind of Joker makeup. You see there on the face, green with the red lips. I always call that the Joker makeup. Very kind of iconic coloration. Very nice. This one kind of looks like a female though, like it's kind of gravid. So female Lepidogasta definitely aren't like green, that's for sure. So kind of confused by that one. Also the horns imply a female. But I'll get an ID on this one. No one else knows it though. But yeah, nice little lizard here. Looks good. All right, just got another nominate green bean. That's what we're going to call these from now on, because green vipers haven't been around on this trip. So this colubrid has replaced it as the common all green snake, kind of the prass of this area, although prass does actually occur in this area. But yeah, little green snake hanging out along the road here. It was actually biting me, which is kind of abnormal for this species, but obviously rudely awakened at night. I'm going to set it back in the bushes so it can go about its day and go to sleep. But super goofy looking green snake. Not the green snake we're after, that's for goddamn sure.
Oh, it's looking for one.
So I was like, we were driving the car and I was looking out the car window and I actually spotted a snake while it was moving. And it's a green snake, and the second time we've seen this species nocturnally active in the last, well, not very long. And this one appears to be doing something very strange, just sticking its head inside a hole. Is it going to come out with an earthworm? What is it doing?
We're actually helping it.
Waiting
for some light.
Yeah, it can see now. Protobophorop's on the road, and oh, it's heading off. And sadly, it's also not the Protobophoros we're looking for. When we jumped out the car for a split second, I saw like a slender viper and I got excited for like a moment, but sadly, just Mukro. But it's always nice to see one of these around. You know, for me, they're still somewhat special. Obviously, for these guys, they see 1,000,001. But for me, this is only the 5th one I've ever seen. So yeah, pretty nice. Gonna let this one cruise off the road. Another addition to tonight's findings though. Let's see if anything else is on the cards before we wrap up, because it's getting kind of late. All right, Noah and Benny turned up an actually decent snake to add a little bit of flavor to our night. You'll recognize this as one of the Cynomicrurus, this one being, I believe looking at it, it should be Cynomicrurus annularis. And also I believe that it's entering shed because it's kind of like a very pale, brownish color as opposed to like the normal. Let's get it on the road, see if it looks any better here. Yeah, it does look a lot better in the road. More of like a pinkish brown coloration. And this is like typical annularis size, at least in my experience. And they're always very difficult to pick up off the road. Fortunately, they're very docile as well, which helps when it comes to handling. Because if this was like a Calliophoras, which jumps around with its mouth open, it would be an absolute nightmare to handle. But this one, I don't even know if its mouth could fit on my hand. It is, of course, a highly venomous elapid. The strength of the venomous Cynomicrurus is actually somewhat unknown. Like, no one seems to be too clear on it, and that's because they almost never bite people. They're very, very much a non-biting snake. And cool to see one of these as well. They're not too rare here, and very similar to McClellans in many ways. Indeed, they used to be a subspecies of McClellans before they were elevated to full species level. But these cool, like banded, sort of South American style coral snakes, always great to see here, and definitely lifting the moods of our crew after a night which has been productive, but unfortunately had a major truncation. But we're going to get back on the road, see if we can cruise anything on the way back to the hotel, because after this we're probably wrapping up, as we've been out for a long time. Let's see if anything shows up. If not, I'll probably catch you tomorrow. The truncations don't stop for the truncation squad, and this time there's an immovable tree crossing the way to our hotel, and there's no way these guys are moving it because it's trapped under rocks under there, because there's been a fresh landslide today. Always a risk of that, and this time it has actually occurred.
We tried to run over it.
I didn't get it on film, but we actually managed to drive over that, so that's kind of encouraging. We're like trying to wake up some boss people at a Montaigne hotel right now to try and find somewhere to stay, but that's definitely going to be it for tonight's herping. We herped for a long time, and we're going to be right back at it tomorrow. But decent night, decent for numbers for sure. We experienced another truncation, which is at our hotel. Well, it isn't our hotel, they don't have any rooms free. And right outside the hotel is another greater green snake, the green bean of Guangxi. All right, here we go. We have to pass it once more. Let's see how this goes.
Hold on, I forgot about doing this.
Oh, easy, light work, light work.
There was some kind of breakdown in communication, and instead of going to the county town, Noah took us to like this resort at the top of a mountain, which was just completely shut. And we were just depressed, like me and Tinker in the car, like thinking, how did we let this happen? Then all of a sudden a smooth just showed up out of nowhere in the middle of the street at night and checked us in.
Yeah, I was like calling him and he picked out in the last minute, so.
And like, he didn't go find Noah. Instead, he just like showed up next to my window, and I was like, oh shit, a smooth. I knew it was our savior. New day today in China, and look at this incredible karst landscape we're surrounded with. Let's just get a full 360 here of those mountains, and good weather. Right now it is good weather for herping, but check this out, man. We're about to get cracking. You can see I've just jumped out the shower, so let's go see what we can find. So this place here, that sign says Crispy Skin Dog, and it's not just the name of the restaurant, it's actually what they sell there. They eat dog because apparently it's like pork, and this is extremely common here. I ain't no animal welfare type person, but what the pissy raz. So it's gone about 3 p.m. now, and we still haven't seen any snakes. I just jumped out the car to do a bit of walking. I was bored of road cruising, and also I'm out here getting very sweaty and enjoying the scenery. But yeah, I know this hasn't been the most exciting video of my bunch, but come on, man, I'm trying. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but every single trip I'm doing, the goal is to elevate it to the next level and get a better quality of snake, better quality of content, just constantly elevating the game. And obviously it can't work out every single time, but this trip's been absolutely insane so far. I was so happy even with last night's herping, and we still got another night to come and an afternoon. So if you're appreciating these videos, enjoying what's been coming out on the channel so far, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment, tell me that you appreciate it, because it really helps the videos and whatnot. But henceforth, I'm gonna keep herping. Major truncation in the daytime, so we're eating up at night. The weather kind of got crap again, but at least we got some good food. Regardless of what the weather's like, we're going to be out grinding, and I'm sure we're going to see some stuff, so let's get to it.
That's funny.
Remember last night we got a green bean right here when trying to check in and failing? Well, our car's over there. We're just waiting for our other lad to come out of the bathroom, and we've had another major truncation, as we call it now. We call finding TS Major a major truncation. Look at him, subsentient as hell. Been walking for a bit over an hour, just around an hour. Only seen one dead mandarin rat snake. So not off to a good start here. I'm gonna keep shining these rock walls though. Keep grinding. Final night here, come on. Here's a very large centipede, and actually over here, some kind of Chinese mammal. A rare mammal observation. It's some kind of bright orange flying squirrel. A snake finally showed up for me, and it's this Lycodon meridionalis. Probably the smallest one we've seen, but definitely the most vibrant yellow. All the others were a little bit duller. This one's super contrasted, like incredibly contrasted. And this kind of yellowish colored road does not do it justice at all. That is not the face of a very truncated snake. That's the face of a very nice snake that is intimidated by my shoe and is now about to bite me. Yes, go on. It's about to happen. Oh, missed. All right, let's get it off the road. Oh, it got me then. This one actually has pretty short teeth for like, oh, you tried to bite that little fruit and now you're biting thin air. Okay, time to go. Long way, bro. Very, very nice colored snake. Protobophops jerdani mimic. Well, we just wrapped up and we did get one final snake, which is probably going to be our very last snake of the China trip. And it's a very venomous snake. It's freaking Bungarus multicinctus, which I feel like we haven't seen for so long. We saw so many of them in one night. We saw like 6 that one night and then none in the other locations. But now here, down in the village in the lowlands with houses and agriculture all around, we got this guy scooting across the road. We weren't prepared for it. I didn't even have my light on my head. And I jumped out and grabbed out of the grass with almost no light. But fortunately there was some, like, someone was shining like a phone torch or something and I could see its like banded tail going through the grass. And then someone arrived with a hook. But a little bit of excitement midway through a sort of pretty midnight. And this is probably going to be the last snake in China. So let's let this one scoot off the road and that'll be it. See ya.
Yeah, come.
You ready?
And that is going to be it for the China series. I hope you enjoyed this very, very fun and exciting run of videos we had with my friends down in Southwest China. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new, trust me, you're going to want to subscribe because we got some absolutely crazy videos and plans for the rest of the year. So I'll see you guys with something special very soon.